movie adaptation of The Legend of Zelda has been announced, and people have been discussing potential casting choices for the various characters they're hoping to see. One such fan cast is the hope of seeing Hunter Schafer in the role of Princess Zelda due to her physical resemblance to Zelda's portrayal in the game Twilight Princess. This, however, has caused some controversy due to Hunter Schafer being a trans woman, and certain people have been voicing their concerns. One of these individuals, who goes by the username Dr. Disaster, has made one such video on the matter, and quite frankly he made the dumbest video on the controversy I have seen thus far. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. A little background before we get into this guy. Dr. Disaster is a right-wing media grifter who likes LARPing as a space pirate and constantly makes about 14 videos a week complaining about perceived wokeness in whatever controversy is currently relevant. Now I know what you're thinking, you can't just call everyone you disagree with a grifter, and to that I say, yeah, I usually will be generalizing when I say grifter, but he is doing it for the money. Don't believe me? He directly states he's doing this for the money at the end of his videos.
Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.
He also utterly despises any female character who committed the horrible crime of not complying with the male gaze, and his thumbnails usually either reuse this image for the millionth time, or they have low-key AI-generated porn. Now that you have a general idea who this guy is, let's get right into the video.
What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and one of the most important elements of any movie or TV show is obviously casting. If they don't get the casting right, the whole thing can fall apart. Take a look at the Last of Us TV show right now, where they're trying to pass off the formerly beloved character Ellie as this person right here.
Yeah, I'm no expert, but I don't exactly think people are that fond of Ellie.
Viewership has fallen off a cliff, at least in part because the actress cannot carry the show. She would have been better cast as a potato.
Did you really just say that so you could play a clip from somewhere to make it seem like you have more of a point? You know what? Fine. I'll do that as well then.
That was a dirty trick, Doc. My turn now.
And that brings me to this news here. The Legend of Zelda live-action movie is supposedly going to be coming out in the next couple years, and it looks like, instead of casting Zelda as someone that makes sense in the role, they're considering casting someone that a shitload of people are not going to want to see. Someone who's busy trying to convince us.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
You got it, dude.
Is this point specific to the actress in question, or is he just projecting negative stereotypes on the individual? That says a lot about how you judge other people. Although if you think he's being transphobic here, rest assured, he's not. He says the same thing about cis women.
I'm sure that if Eve of Stellar Blade was able to give Aloy a bit of advice, it would be this.
Don't be such a boy!
They couldn't even get my name right.
But yeah, it looks like Nintendo is seriously considering casting Hunter Schafer, a trans actor from the show Euphoria.
That's a rumor. There isn't actually any confirmation on whether Nintendo is eyeing Hunter. It's a fan cast.
If Nintendo does this, it will be one of the worst unforced errors in the history of film. Sony Pictures is supposedly working on this alongside Nintendo.
Have you noticed that Dr. Disaster keeps moving in the same way over and over? That's a fake face cam. He's just voicing over a gif of himself moving over and over. Yeah, I'm not filming myself live either, but at least I'm being open about it. I'm just showing this picture to make it clear when I'm talking. I'm not pretending that I'm filming myself as I'm saying this.
And you almost have to wonder if this isn't Sony's doing. Are they trying to sabotage a competitor from the video game spaces? Because for cripe's sake, The Legend of Zelda should be one of the easiest layups for a movie that you can think of. But once again, I'm gonna say it, casting is important. And let's face it, if Hunter Schafer had a theme song, I think it would go something like this.
Okay, first of all, that was a really weird insult. Secondly, why is that Hunter's theme song? Is she super obsessed with men or something? Or are you basing someone's theme song based on an attribute they rejected? That seems intentionally misleading. Or the actual reason I'm sure you said it because Hunter is a biological male. If that's the reason you said that, then are you saying 50% of Earth's population has the same friggin' theme song? If Joe Biden had a theme song, it would probably go something like this. If Kanye West had a theme song, it would probably go something like this. If Abraham Lincoln had a theme song, it would probably go something like this. If your neighbor Jerry had a theme song, it would probably go something like this. If Robert Downey Jr. had a theme song, it would probably go something like this. If Batman had a theme song, it would probably go a little something like this.
I could do this all day.
Isn't this that cartoon that causes seizures?
Make sure to hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where I keep a list of games, lousy with focus, pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster1. Also, I started uploading content on Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that platform too.
Anyhow, let's take a gander at this whole Legend of Zelda casting controversy. Seeing Sony and Nintendo working together on a project, even a movie, is just weird. For years, Nintendo has managed to keep its nose clean of most of the woke stuff, but they've recently had a few toes dipped into those waters.
Ah yes, recently. Yeah, only very recently. They've never done this before.
It feels like they're just another in a long line of Japanese companies who are gradually losing faith in themselves, in their own heritage.
So you're assuming that just because they're Japanese, they don't want to put woke stuff in their games.
That's kind of racist.
In an attempt to appeal to Western audiences, they're going along with the weird gender shit, which has always been an astroturfed campaign built through social media and through the mouths of out-of-touch, wealthy schmucks who want to virtue signal as heroes who are fixing the world to break up the boring monotony of their unchallenged lives. Hence, we get all the lectures from these entertainment companies. Once again though, if you want to know how popular this shit is, take a look at Dragon Age the Veilguard and tell me how well that went down for them. But these Japanese companies are constantly lied to by Westerners, being told that the gender shit is what people want to see.
Or maybe the people making the games just want to implement the themes into their games. Nintendo's been doing it since 1988.
And always keep in mind, folks, for anyone out there who thinks that wokeness is dead and buried, I urge you strongly to realize that it is only in retreat. This is what they want, and they will keep pushing it. But let's read about this potential casting choice in this article here from thegamer.com, and you'll notice from the headline here how they're basically gleeful to report on this. Hunter Schafer is a popular choice, guys. Yeah, maybe on Reddit, where disagreeing is literally not allowed, you idiots.
Look, there are times when censorship is necessary. I value free speech, but that doesn't mean I'm completely fine with excessive hate speech or harassment, which sometimes can lead to some pretty messed up outcomes. Granted, I don't know specifically what kind of disagreement you're talking about, but considering the kind of content you make, I'm making an educated guess that you're talking about some examples where people went too far.
And if they didn't fuck the assholes, you know what you'd get? You'd get your dick and your pussy all covered in shit!
Also, literally not allowed. You genuinely think The Reddit terms of service are against any and all disagreement, no matter how broad. Learn what the word literally means, you idiot.
But let's read the article here. According to a reliable insider, Euphoria's Hunter Schafer is being considered for the role of Princess Zelda in the upcoming Legend of Zelda movie from Nintendo. After the monumental success of Illumination's Super Mario Bros. Movie, it quickly became clear that Nintendo has a big future in the world of movies. It seems the console and games giant saw it that way too, as it not only announced a sequel to the Mario movie, but also a live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. And does anyone know why the Mario movie did so well? Because it's a beloved franchise, and they did right by it. The most controversy for that movie was some people just not liking Chris Pratt's voice for Mario. But let's read on. The subheader says Euphoria's Hunter Schafer could end up playing Zelda in the Legend of Zelda movie, a popular fan cast potentially made real. Let me reiterate what I said before. Reddit is not real life. Out here in the real world, this gender shit is about as popular as a bottle of Danny DeVito's bathwater.
And exactly how much time do you spend in the real world? With the amount of time that goes into finding topics to speak about, script writing and editing, making 2 of these slop videos per day every day, I'm surprised you actually have time for anything else.
But it says here, as reported by NME, reliable movie insider Daniel RPK recently shared an update regarding the Legend of Zelda movie on their Patreon, which discusses one of the lead roles being eyed up by Nintendo and Sony. While you might think I'm talking about the much-memed Tom Holland as Link, it's actually Zelda that Nintendo is starting to consider. And then they go on to say that Hunter Schafer is the one they're considering for the role of Zelda, and here's the thing. A movie with The Legend of Zelda in its title will sell some tickets regardless of the gender stuff. Make no mistake, cultural auto intake zombies will shamble into the theaters.
You mean people who are going to the theater to see a theatrical adaptation of a franchise they love? I don't know about you, but going to the movies and seeing a franchise I'm familiar with come to life on the big screen is quite an exciting experience that I would strongly recommend people do every so often, even if I think ticket prices are a tad too high these days. You may think their standards are too low, but if they're generally having a good time, then doesn't that mean whatever problem you perceive with the film isn't significant enough to ruin the experience?
Along with some progressive activists, but this movie should, on paper, be able to compete with the Mario movie in terms of how crazy it sold because of super fans like me.
You serious?
Oh, you're a super fan, are you? Not just a regular fan of The Legend of Zelda. You're a super fan. You're the pinnacle of being a Zelda fan? Okay, sure. Well, in that case, considering your channel has over 1,000 videos on it, you must have made quite a few videos on the franchise by this point, right? Doc, where are your Legend of Zelda videos?
Where are they?
You mean to tell me that as a super fan of the franchise who makes about 2 videos a day, you somehow have only made 0 videos on the franchise prior to this one? Where's your fan theories? Where's your trailer analysis videos? Where are your critiques on the games, Now, you could argue that Dr. Disaster's channel only discusses current events in pop culture, but to that I say, Tears and Echoes came out recently, and Age of Imprisonment has been announced, but this superfan has yet to say anything on the matter, and only rears his ugly head when some culture war controversy shows up that he can take advantage of. Now, he could be a legitimate fan of the franchise, but I'm putting my money on him only claiming he's a superfan so he can leverage the goodwill associated with the fandom against the prospect of a trans actor being cast in a major role. Okay, update, he did play some of the games on stream. So, yeah, I guess he has actually played the games. My point still stands though, he hasn't actually made any videos talking about the franchise, which makes up a bulk of his content, so make of that what you will.
Now, I have beaten nearly every Zelda game ever made. I adore the games and the lore, and I would probably go to the movie multiple times if it doesn't suck.
How does this relate to Hunter Schafer? Didn't you say Hunter shouldn't be cast because it would cause controversies or something? Hunter Schafer being cast and the movie not sucking aren't mutually exclusive. Are you now claiming they are? That begs the question, why would the film be lower quality if Hunter Schafer was cast? Is she a bad actor or something? I probably shouldn't get too far ahead of myself. I'm sure he'll explain why in a moment.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
And I would take several people with me. My wife, my kids, my brother, all kinds of other people.
Considering the way you talk about women, I very much hope you have not started a family.
And let me tell you a story. I'm a big Star Wars fan. When the first Disney Star Wars film came out in 2015, The Force Awakens, I was so stoked to see Han Solo and Luke Skywalker on the screen again that I went to the theaters and I ended up watching that movie 5 times at the movies. Not because it was a great film, the plot was a copy of A New Hope, but I went so many times because I was blindly excited to see the franchise on the screen again.
That's a good thing. You should be blindly excited. You should be looking forward to going to the movies. That feeling of genuinely enjoying the movies is something you should try to hold on to and not let people ruin for you. Let me tell you a story. I'm a big Star Wars fan. When Disney started running ship, I started watching their movies. However, the latter 2 films of the sequel trilogy weren't very good, and there were a lot of critical analysis videos about said movies, which ended up spiraling into people complaining about every single little thing as if it were a major offense to the franchise, which destroyed my suspension of disbelief like it was Jack Porkins at Yavin, and now I can't watch any of the movies without my inner critic calling bullshit on most of the things in the franchise, and that's what made the films really hard to enjoy. Please note, I'm not saying that film criticism of the franchise is unwarranted. I just think a lot of media grifters take their criticism way too far. Look, what I'm trying to say is, if you don't like something, then that's fine. No one can force you to like anything. But it's good to enjoy films even if they aren't perfect, because at the end of the day, films are there for your enjoyment. I've rambled on for too long. Back to Dr. Disaster.
But that enthusiasm has now been killed. I watched The Last Jedi once in theaters, where they added all that progressive political nonsense, and I damn near walked out of the theater.
That's why you hated The Last Jedi? That film sucked because it was boring. Half the film is just the First Order following the Resistance through empty space, and the other half is Rey messing around with Jake, the Finn side plot, which I think we can all agree everyone hates, and the battle scene where basically no one accomplished anything. And the main thing you hated was the progressive political themes. Do you mean that whole thing about war profiteering? They spent like 5 minutes talking about that. It wasn't a very big part of the movie. It's almost a shame, really. It's one of the more interesting parts of the film.
And I have never watched a new Star Wars movie since.
Oh, really now? Well then, I don't suppose you can answer this one simple question for me. If you haven't seen a Star Wars movie since 2017, then why are you still making videos on them? What makes you think you're qualified to review media you aren't even consuming? If this doesn't paint a clear picture of how insincere he is, I don't know what will. How can he say anything of substance if he barely knows what he's talking about? Is this even his gameplay? Have we sunk so low that we're okay with people disparaging media they don't even interact with? You know what? If you can't beat them, join them. What's up, Marines? It's Lemonator here. Make sure to join my Patreon and let's take a look at the show Miraculous, which I am a devout fan of. Unfortunately, this show succumbed to the woke mind virus and introduced us to this girl, Zoe Lee. Now, Harley Quinn over here was added to be a replacement for the character Chloe, because obviously we can't have this bad on Team Good Guy. No, we gotta have a dollar store lesbian girl boss version of her who dresses exactly like the main character of the show for some reason, because we gotta push the massage. Now, let me procrastinate for about 10 minutes so I can get ad revenue by reading someone else's article and complaining about woke stuff like I already did about 800 other times. Please enjoy. You guys remember Concord? Okay, let's finish this.
Now, the Legend of Zelda film, if done even reasonably well, would be the same thing for me as The Force Awakens. I would likely see it multiple times in theaters, helping to drive the box office for that movie through the roof, because there would be a lot of people like me, super fans of The Legend of Zelda, who would go to that movie a lot of times. But if they go this route with Hunter Schafer as Zelda, I will skip it completely.
Super fan of The Legend of Zelda, ladies and gentlemen. He is so unfathomably in love with this franchise that he will completely refuse to watch the theatrical adaptation of the franchise if they make a single casting choice he disagrees with. Let's give this fan a round of applause. If you were as big of a fan as you claim you are, you would see the film at least once regardless of who was cast to play Zelda. Don't associate the fandom with your bullshit.
And now, do a little mental math for me here. Who do you think Nintendo will make more money pandering to? The mega fans like me, who buy all the merch?
Oh, you buy all the merch now, do you? Okay, show me yours then. Show me your t-shirts. Show me your Switch cover. Show me your marketable plushies. Show me your keychains. Show me your Master Sword. That is not what I meant. You're a super fan, aren't you? Surely it wouldn't be any trouble for you to show some of that, all of the merch you own on that fake face cam you have there, right? Are you actually gonna buy anything if the film goes the way you want? Or are you just saying things that support your agenda?
And multiple movie tickets, or the weird activists who support them with one movie ticket in order to push the message.
Isn't supporting the film with one movie ticket the expectation? I watched the new Superman film recently, and I really liked it.
It's enough to make a grown man cry, and that's okay.
But I'm not gonna see the film in theaters again, unless I'm rewatching it because I'm tagging along with some friends or something, especially considering the ticket prices these days. That, and I know I'm eventually gonna be able to rewatch the film when it comes to a streaming service or something. Also, by refusing to buy tickets unless they refuse to cast Hunter, you yourself are becoming a political activist. You claim that by activists buying tickets when they're being pandered to, that's a move motivated entirely by political views. But wouldn't you be doing the same thing by your own logic? Congratulations. You're refusing to see the film unless they make it your way in order to push the message. Sure. You did say you'd buy multiple tickets, but at the end of the day, that just means all you're really doing is partaking in a dick measuring contest using your credit card. Also, who says that the super fans would agree with you? If someone was really a massive fan of the franchise, do you honestly think they would refuse to watch the film because Schafer was cast? They might still watch the film multiple times and buy all the merch, regardless of your stance on the film. Have you ever considered that the fandom might not be transphobic?
I think that's fairly obvious, right? At this point, I really wonder if Sony isn't sabotaging Nintendo with this nonsense, telling them this is how to be popular in America. But I'm gonna leave it there.
Ah, yes. You're gonna leave it there directly after the video goes past the 10-minute mark. It's almost like you were just rambling instead of actually making any arguments so that people would watch your video long enough for you to get ad revenue.
If they go through with this casting, who do you think will make more profit? Will it be Nintendo or the YouTubers making fun of this shit?
Tell me you're a grifter without telling me you're a grifter.
Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties.
Well, I think he made his perspective clear. Nintendo shouldn't cast Hunter Schafer because... Oh yeah. He didn't explain why.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Instead of actually bringing up any issues with Hunter, he just talked about Dragon Age and Star Wars for some reason. What did he actually add to the conversation? Can Hunter not act the part correctly? Can she not do the right voice? Is there something else preventing Hunter from being able to play the role well? I guess we'll never know, because all he said was, and I quote, "Casting is important," end quote. Now, he did bring up that it would cause a controversy, but that argument kinda falls apart when in this video he perpetuated the controversy when he said he'd boycott the film if they did cast Hunter. He didn't make an argument, he made a threat. I guess he kind of said Hunter shouldn't get the role because of biological sex, but I don't think that's much of an issue. Personally, I don't think there's much of a problem with hiring trans actors to play the roles of cis people in acting roles. It's called acting. No matter what your perspective on trans people is, at the end of the day, all actors are pretending to be someone else entirely. Besides, it's not like there haven't been some really good portrayals of characters played by actors who are completely different to the characters they play.
Yeah, and with pickles, and can you smush it down real flat? Thanks.
Have you heard nothing Lord Elrond has said? The ring must be destroyed.
I'll tell you, that bald chick was right about one thing. You will never save the world.
I hope y'all will not hamburging me, because that's exactly what I'm going to be bringing back and serving up in this whirly bird.
Look, the point I'm trying to make is, actors can play characters that are not biologically the same as them. Tobey Maguire can't shoot webs out of his wrists, Mark Hamill isn't a space wizard, and Tom Cruise didn't ride a motorcycle into a canyon. What really matters is if the actor can effectively portray the character they're given. I hope that the best actor for the role is cast, whether it is or isn't Hunter Schafer. Anyway, now that the official casting has been announced, I feel like I should give my own opinion on it. Well, this looks promising. Personally, I was hoping since the film was live action that they were going to take inspiration from Twilight Princess and use an adult Link and Zelda for the movie, but it seems like the filmmakers had a different vision in mind. Also, I'm a little concerned that Benjamin kinda looks like...
Well, excuse me, princess.
But I digress. Like I said, I hope they hire the best actors for the role, and if these are the best actors, then I'm glad they were hired. And to anyone who's jumping on any #NotMyZelda bandwagon because Hunter wasn't cast, it is fine to be disappointed, but that does not give you the right to harass the actors nor anyone else associated with making the film. Instead of pointing fingers at each other, let's just come together as a fandom and enjoy the film regardless of who ends up being casting, alright? Have a good one.